Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and welcome to this week's episode of Unscripted. Already in the chat, host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Out Presents. Co-host of Stambu Theater, my co-host for tomorrow night's mystery movie night at the Regal, Since Corner. Friend of the channel, D. Penzak. Another friend of the channel, the viewer, Drew. Host of Kiki Geezers, co-host of Friday Night Last Haul, and my co-host on Live from Sparkwood and 21, ladies and gentlemen, H. Boomer. Several celebrities had a great week, but was it as good as they thought it was? I'm going to analyze this here situation in a comedic manner, of course. And hello to Fluffchick Productions. This episode is not intended to be a rant or to bring anyone down. Far from it. I just want to point out a few things that I've noticed in recent days. Some things that I found kind of funny, very silly, on the account of some people who should really know better. And now, recently there was a sporting event. Some, fantastic bowl cut or something like that. And, well, there was a celebrity there. Now, in full disclosure, I was once a big fan of Alyssa Milano. I had like a huge crush on her. I first saw her in Commando, the Schwarzenegger film. And when she says to the villain, I'm going to watch my daddy kick your ass. I went, I'm going to marry that girl. I seem to have dodged a bullet. I didn't do that. I am alive and well. I bring this particular Twitter post up for a reason. Because it takes a good deal of money to get a ticket to the Super Bowl. I mean, somebody like you and me, you would have to save up for a while to take a trip like that. Which is why I don't do it. I don't travel. I can't oftentimes. Now, I bring this up in regards to Alyssa Milano because there was a post previous to this one where she had put up a page on, I believe it was GoFundMe, to back her son's baseball team. Now, on its own, there's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, you can't go shilling for money like you're broke. And then days later, put up a post where you're partying at the Super Bowl, rubbing elbows with your fellow celebrities, when we know how much it takes for someone to kind of get there, you know? And it's all very odd. Everything having to do with the Super Bowl is odd. Now, there have been conspiracy theories about the game itself being rigged. I could almost do a whole show on it. However, I'm not really sure I want to give the NFL that kind of airtime. The NFL, in my opinion, has become very akin to wrestling. Yet oddly, at this point, wrestling, for how fake I think that is more believable than anything I'm seeing in the NFL right now. It really is. Going back to Alyssa Milano for a moment, I just think it's very odd. Feigning poverty to get money from whatever fan base you might have left. And no, I don't expect her to pay for everything herself. No, that's just silly. But don't go feigning poverty and then, within the week, boast about how rich you are. That doesn't fly with me. Like so many other things she does, it doesn't fly with me. I want fun Alyssa Milano back. I don't know what happened. It's a shame. Now, the Super Bowl maybe didn't exactly go the way we had all planned, you know? Um, Regardless of who you might have been rooting for, either the Chiefs or the 49ers, quite frankly, I didn't have a dog in that hunt. Just as long as the Chiefs didn't win. But of course, they did, because so it was written, so it shall be done. Now, there is a certain pop music star who is now accompanying one of the Chiefs players. And again, it's their lives. Let them do what they want with them. Now, regardless of whether or not I feel this relationship is for real or if it's a publicity stunt, being overexposed does not give you the right to act like a big fat baby on international frickin' television in the middle of the game. You are screaming at an elderly man who, by the way, is your boss. That's about showing some respect. Because I'll say something to you, you celebrities and you whiny so-called athletes. The whole resting bitch face thing, it doesn't work with me. Never has. Never will. Now, he's apologized for this. I don't know what this beef was over. I only had a chance to see half of the game. I watched it with my friend Jedi Bill and a couple of others, Teague, a couple of others. Unfortunately, I had to bow out at halftime because I had to come here and do this broadcast, which was a lot of fun, and more people watched it than I thought would for it being Super Bowl weekend. So, everybody who watched last week's show, thank you very much for taking that time out. Um, now, I'm sure Travis Kelce has had time on the field. I'm just saying, during the part of the show I watched, he warmed the bench. And maybe that's what he's angry about here. Maybe this is his idea of, hey, coach, send me in. And yes, he is, Lady V. Um, I don't see her with him. Um, I think Taylor Swift and Blake Lively are a better couple at this point. I mean, let's be honest about that here. Um, hey, Deadpool, are they just friends or what? Help me out here. Again, hey, to each their own. This is not me being judgmental. This is just observation. Here's my main issue with professional sports in general at this point, and even to some extent the college level. When I can ride by a football field or a baseball diamond where you have young children playing with more passion and, quite frankly, skill than these overpaid, overgrown children, we have a problem. And this is what the main crux of this show is about. We are putting people up on pedestals in this country who do not deserve to be there. You're going to scream at your coach during a game you're already rigged to win? You bench warmer? Sit down, plug a frickin' cork in yourself, and act like an adult. You think you're essential. You're not. I don't think you're even essential to your own team. But you're with another quote unquote celebrity, whether or not this relationship is for real or if it's a publicity stunt. That's where you are now. You have eyes on you. Act like some sense. Now, he's apologized for this sense, and I'll give him that. Okay, good. You apologized. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. Just don't be surprised when the woman dumps you and makes two albums about your relationship, because that's what always happens. The guys make an album, it's about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Woman make an album, it's about a breakup. You know? Or if you're lucky, it's about a romance, aka the sex, drugs, and rock and roll again. It is what it is, folks. Every album's about it. Let's be honest. Come on, we're all adults here. Yeah. Lady V says, I think she's a seed of evil meant to break things that have potential and suck the life out of them. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I got a million of them. She'd make a great pair for Liam Worthless. Don't wish that on him. All right. He already had to deal with dating Miley Cyrus. Don't. And his new movie is good. Go see it. So no, we can't blame Liam for this one. And good evening, Dad Man Walking. Good to see you. I am well. I got my aches and pains, but that comes with age, and it's a little cold in here. But yeah, otherwise I'm good. A lady V says Miley had to deal with him. I'm a man hater sometimes. Yeah, all right, understandable, I guess. Now, there's this other crazy conspiracy theory surrounding Taylor Swift that she had something to do with writing the Argyle film, which, based on what I've heard of that movie, for her sake, I hope she had nothing to do with that. But who knows? It's a weird one. I think it's just a publicity stunt that failed. He knew what he was getting into. Yeah, they all know what they're getting into, up to a point at least. Now, somebody else that I wanted to bring up is someone who's not necessarily been placed on a pedestal, but I think he thinks he's there because he did a Star Trek series. Now, this one is going to be about my pal Will Wheaton. And, well, he had an issue with a comedy bit by Larry David of Curb Your Enthusiasm fame. And it was a bit where he beats up a Muppet. He beat up Elmo. Obviously, it was a bit planned out and kind of funny. You know? Okay, he beat up a sock puppet. Whoa. You know. Now, and hello to the woke breaker. Now, I am not going to read this whole thing. You can go on Twitter pretty much and just say, just type up, Will Wheaton and Elmo, and you'll pretty much get what he says here. This is something I didn't know. Will Wheaton is older than me. I thought I had him by a couple of years, but I don't. The point being, he's not a child. If you're going to freak out over a comedy bit where a grown-ass man smacks a Muppet across the mouth, then you got bigger problems. Now, Will Wheaton was a child actor in Hollywood during the 80s. So you got to know that there are things that go along with that. And we all know what they are. There's drugs, there's abuse. Has Will Wheaton had to deal with both? I'm pretty sure he has. Why the adults who worked with him did nothing? That's another story. But I mean, if he wants to be the poster boy for being a soy cuck, by all means, I elect you king idiot. Okay? Go for it. Have fun. I never liked you anyway. Now, I understand that he has blocked his Twitter page, which is good because I won't be seeing him on my timeline anymore unless Data Racer comes up with something, which I'm sure he will. Or she will. Hey, I don't know who Data Racer is. I don't need to know. Um, but it's really sad. That A, he reacted this way, and B, that he thinks we give a shit. Because he has this high opinion of himself. Now, to be an actor, or for that matter, to be a politician, there is a certain amount of narcissism that goes along with that. Some assertiveness. I expect that. And quite frankly, I think it's kind of necessary for them to do what they do. Hey, I think I can play Hamlet. That's a tall order, son, but go to it. I want to be president of the United States. Why do you think you can run the country? A little bit of narcissism there. And while that is not good, you got to expect a certain amount of it from some of these people. Now, Will Wheaton is claiming that there was some abuse in his past and that this somehow triggered those memories. I don't know. I'm not a shrink. He clearly needs one, though. Don't go off like this. Keep it to yourself. Call your doctor, okay? Calm down, Sonny Jim. It ain't about you. If only you put this kind of effort into your actual job. Like, who knows? You know, you might be doing something other than cameos on your own show. Yeah, triggered. Yeah, I guess something's wrong with him. Yeah. There is something wrong with him. I agree. And hello to Jedi Bill. Now, like I said, I am not here to judge these people. My belief is everything that happens is inevitable. What goes around is going to come around. I choose to live life without an angel standing over my head. These people think they're the charmed ones. I don't buy it. Now, some people Might have thought that this was going to be about the movie. Poor things, because I deliberately had Fletcher, and thank you once again, Fletcher Williams, for the outstanding thumbnail that I made you go back and change 3 times because I kept coming up with ideas. Now, I do want to bring up for a moment someone who is in that film. Okay, here's our pal Mark Ruffalo. He got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week. Congratulations. I guess they give those things to anybody. Okay. Disney fired Gina Carano, but they didn't fire you for the shit you've said through the years. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Gina Carano fired. Melissa Barrera fired. That woman who worked on The Acolyte fired. Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, Pedro Pascal still have jobs. Just saying. That that sex discrimination part of Gina's lawsuit, I think she's got a case there. She's got a case. All right. We put people up on pedestals in this country. And I'm not omitting myself. I've been a party to it too. Before I got the proverbial bucket of cold water thrown in my face, and I realized what was going on around me and some of the people who were responsible for the things that were happening around me. Send these people a message that you're not going to put up with their foolishness. They can call us cysts and phobes all day long and then try and pretend that they didn't. Oh, we didn't say that about you. You came up with that. You need to look in the mirror. You need to check your privilege. No, motherfucker, you need to check your privilege. Because I no longer care about what you have to say. I want good movies out of you. Not your political crap. You're rich. Don't go begging for money. Unless you can prove to me that you're going to do some genuine good with it. I need to check my privilege? No, you need to check yours. Because I know where my ancestors came from. Do you? Because many of you act pretty shocked when you find out. On a very special episode of Reading Rainbow. Athletes, you're overpaid. If they paid teachers what they pay you and these Hollywood freaking actors, I think we wouldn't have the education situation in this country that we have right now. You are overpaid and you are non-essential. Get that through your head. There are two hashtags that I support on this show. Hashtag walk away, hashtag wallets closed. Don't watch this stuff. They want to act like a fool out on the football field or on Twitter. Ignore these people. Don't bother with them. Don't go see their stuff. Just don't. You owe them nothing. Let them go off and pout. Let them cry. Let them cry. We got better things to do with our time. So disrespectful and sharing a horrible message as role model story on. Yeah, that is the main crux behind this episode. These people are not role models. But they have been allowed to think that they are. There are better role models in this chat right now. There are people in this chat who have kids, who raised them right. And I can tell. It is time for Hollywood. It's time for these professional athletes, and it is time for the career politicians to get knocked down a peg. And we're the ones who are going to have to do it. We're going to have to deliver that message respectfully. I'm not using this broadcast to tell people to go out and do something crazy. Simply vote with your wallet or walk away. Okay, end of the rant. Big Al says the criteria for receiving a star: professional achievement, longevity in the category of 5 years plus, contributions to community, and the guarantee that the celebrity will attend a ceremony. Posthumous awards require a 2-year waiting period after death. Okay. Now, it's time for the What's on My Shelf segment. And earlier today, I joined Jedi Bill for Western Cinema Presents. We had intended to watch A Man Called Django. Unfortunately, we had some audio issues. We could not show that movie. So instead, as an alternate, we watched Appaloosa, which is based on the Colin Hitch Western series by Robert B. Parker, starring Viggo Mortensen, Ned Harris, Renee Zellweger, and Jeremy Irons, among others. And this is an excellent film right here. It's a really good adaptation of the book. I wish they had had a chance to do some of the other books. Unfortunately, they didn't. But hey, we got this movie. It's very underrated. Box office wise, came and went pretty quietly, but I do highly recommend it. And Lady V was in the chat earlier and watched that film along with us, and she enjoyed it. Yeah, I think Vigo is probably the reason she did. And yeah, check it out. It's a very good movie. All right, now this is the point in the show where I turn it over to you, you in the chat, and my loyal subscribers. We have a few minutes left in the show. If anybody has any questions, suggestions for TV shows or movies to review, now is the time. All right. Earlier this evening, Jedi Bill and I reviewed the Jason Statham action film, The Beekeeper. So that review is now up on both of our channels. Please feel free to check it out. And if you've seen the movie, let us know in the comments what you thought. Not at all. Jedi's commentary sucks me in. Yeah. Now, one thing that I do want to do sometime real soon is to begin my What's on My Shelf series. Now, I had brought up last year that was something that I wanted to do, and I haven't had the chance up to now. But I'm going to, and one of the reasons why is I really want to get my collection organized, because in recent weeks I've looked for videos that I knew that I had, but I haven't been able to find them. Like, I know I have a copy of Deadpool. Went looking for it last night, couldn't find it. A couple of weeks ago on Western Cinema Presents, we did No Country for Old Men, and I wanted to follow along with my own copy. I know I have one. Again, couldn't find it. So I think the first episode of the show is going to be me sorting through some of this stuff. It's kind of like an episode. It's kind of like an episode 0, you know. And then I'm going to start reviewing the movies that I have, and I definitely want to kind of do little shorts, pulling stuff off of the shelf, and not just movies, books too, and other things that I've come into possession of. and basically do a physical media show of my own. Any idea about the film tomorrow night? All I know is what Sin says right here. I know that the website is saying that the movie is rated PG and that it is 2 hours long. Other than that, I really can't tell you. Now, yeah, I hope it's a good one too. you know, Sin is wondering if it's Ordinary Angels. Now, that actually wouldn't surprise me. It might be. Okay. We shall consult the scrolls. Let me go to Regal and look up Ordinary Angels real quick. Bear with me. As I go to the coming soon section. Now, Ordinary Angels is rated PG and actually is a pretty decent cast. Alan Ritchson, who of course plays in the Jack Reacher series, he stars in it. Hilary Swank is also in it. Amy Acker and Nancy Travis, among others. It's based on a true story. It does have it does have about the correct runtime. It is PG. Yeah, I'm thinking this is probably going to end up being Ordinary Angels. That would be my chief. That would be my first choice, based on a true story. Yeah. Well, we'll know tomorrow. I also wondered if it was going to be Cabrini, because I know that's coming out here in a few weeks. But that's PG-13, so, and it's also 2.5 hours long. So, also because it's playing at 7 p.m. Yeah, because usually, if it's a family film, then it would be at 5. It's usually at 5 o'clock, which is why I'm ruling out Kung Fu Panda 4. Yeah, my guess, it's going to be Ordinary Angels, but we'll see. All right. Do we have any other questions before I wrap up the show? At the top of the hour, Geeky Geezers with Aged Boomer and Troy Pacelli. So go over there and raid Boomer's channel. If I have any mods in the chat, or Boomer, if you're still here, please go ahead and throw the link in the chat. Well, no, this time tomorrow. Yes, I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow night at 10 p.m. will be the mystery movie night at the Regal broadcast with Sin and myself. And we will be reviewing whatever the movie might be, whether it is Ordinary Angels or if it's something else. But we'll see. Also, later tonight, the other side of midnight, Jedi Bill will be my guest for the show. Thanks, Dave. And there is the link for Geeky Geezers. Thank you, Sin. Looking forward to y'all's review. Yeah, well, we will be there 10 p.m. I also want to remind everybody of Live from Sparkwood in 21, which is a Twin Peaks retrospective series hosted by Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, Aged Boomer, and myself. That will be at 8:30 Eastern Standard, 7:30 Central. And Thursday, March 7th, I am going to be joining Brandon the Anime Guy for his Thursday night show, which I believe is going to be at about 8 p.m. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, stay here on my channel. Watch my community page for updates. And I'll see you there. All right. Great show. Been a lovely audience. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody that was watching on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to thank everybody who watches the replay. Please share out the stream, hit the like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. My 2,000 sub celebration live stream is coming soon. And I want to thank all of you in the chat. Lady V Elements, Connie Cleary, Sin's Corner, D Penzak, Aged Boomer, Jedi Bill. Big Out presents Dead Man Walking. The View with Drew. A reminder that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. From HQ, good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.